morning students. Now I will take it Geography 5. India, population, transport, communication and trade. In this lesson, already lesson 4 Geography completed. Now lesson 5. India, population, transport, communication and trade. In this lesson, you have to study the level of urbanization and its impact in India. Level of urbanization. To know about the human development in India. To know about the human development. To learn the transport system in India. To learn the transport system of India. To understand the communication system in India. To assess the nature of trade in India. These are the learning objectives in this lesson. What are the learning objectives? Urbanization and impact in India, human development index, transport system of India, then communication system, then nature of trade in India. These are the learning objectives. First we will study about the introduction about the population. The study of human population is one of the important aspects in geography in any region. The human population is many components, but the most fundamental number, composition, distribution. The human population deals with the number, composition, distribution, distribution and density. Distribution and density. These are the human components of human population. What are the components of human population? Number, composition, distribution and density. Therefore, it is essential to study each and every component. What are the components of population? Number, composition, distribution and density. So, we must study about these components. The population of India in 2011, population of 4 components. What are the components of population? Number, composition, distribution and the population of India in 2011 census, how much population? 1210.9 million. 9 million. Population census that provide the detailed information about the population, demography of India. What is meant by population census? The population census deals with gives the complete information about the population, demography of India. First subheading, population. What are the components of population? Number, composition, distribution and density. These are the components of population. The population of India in 2011, 1210.9 million. Then first we will study about the population. The total number of people residing in a country at a specified period of time is called population. What is meant by population? The total number of people lived in a country at a specified time is called population. What is meant by population? A particular number of people lived in a country at a specified time is called population. India is the second most populous country in the world after China. India is the second. What is meant by population? India is the second largest population in the country after China. Our population is almost equal to the combined population of India's population is equal to the combined population. Combined population of what are the combined population? What are the countries included? USA, Indonesia, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan and Bangladesh and Japan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. These are the combined population. USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Japan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. The combined population of India is the combined population of USA, India, Brazil, Japan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. These countries' population is included in the India's population. So India is the second largest population in the world after China. Then census. So what is meant by population? The population is the total number of people lived in a country at a particular specified time is called a population. India is the second largest populous country after China. India is the combined population of USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Japan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Then census. Next we will study about census. What is meant by census? What is meant by census? Population census is the total process of collecting, compiling, analyzing and or otherwise disseminating demographic, economic and social data pertaining at a specified time of a person in a country or well-defined part of the country. Population census is the total process of compiling, collecting, analyzing or otherwise disseminating demographic, economic and social data pertaining at a specified time of all persons in a country or well-defined part of a country. It happens at an interval of 10 years. The census is calculated every 10 years. Collecting the data collected through census. Makkal Kanakadappu. The census is data collected from the census is used for administration, planning, policy making. What are the uses of census? Administration, policy, planning. It is useful for planning and policy making. Policy making. What are the census means? Collecting the population, collecting and determining and compiling, analyzing and collecting the population is called a census. After collecting the census, that data is useful for administration, planning and policy making. Administration, planning and policy making. This data is useful for administration, planning and policy making. For the government, it is useful for the government. Distribution and density of population. Then first the census, the meaning of census study. After collecting the population census, that information, that data is useful for administration, planning and policy making of the government, for the government. The next we will study about next one, distribution and density of population. Distribution, and density of population. Distribution means the term population distribution refers to the way of the people are spaced over the earth's surface. How many peoples are spread over the earth surface is called population distribution. Population distribution. Population distribution means the term population distribution refers to the way of the people spread on the earth's surface. That is called population distribution. Population is mostly concentrated in the region of industrial area. Population is mostly concentrated in the industrial area and agricultural area. More population is lived in the industrial area and agricultural area. On the other hand, the areas such as high mountains, remote areas, not underdeveloped area, are very thinly populated. That places and all the population is low population. Which area? Mountain, high mountain, arid land, thickly forest area. This area are thinly populated. The population is very thinly populated means the rate of population is low. Then terrain, climate, soil, water bodies, minerals and resources, transport, industries and urbanization are the major factors that affect the distribution. What are the factors affecting the distribution of population? First factor, climate, soil, water bodies, resources, mineral resources, transport and urbanization, these are the factors which affect the population. What are the factors affect the population? Climate. What are the factors affect the population? Climate, soil, water bodies, mineral resources, transport and urbanization. These are the factors affecting the distribution of population. In India, the first census was carried out in year 1892. First census was carried out in 1892. The first census was carried out in India in the year 1892. Uttar Pradesh is the most populous state in the country with the population of UP. Uttar Pradesh is the most populous country with a 199.5 million population. Then next Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and combined Andhra Pradesh. These 5 states accounts for half of the population. What are the 5 states account for half of the population? Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. These 5 states are the Andhra Pradesh. These are the 5 states of combined population, half of the population of India. Sikkim is the least populous state. Which one is the most populous country state in India? UP is the most populous state, but Sikkim is the least populous. Sikkim is the least populous state in our country. The uneven distribution of population in the country result to several factors such as physical and social factors. There are 2 factors. The most populous state in our country, UP is the most populous state. Then which is the least populous state? Sikkim is the least populous state. Then the uneven distribution of population affect the socio-physical and historical factors. Social factors, physical factors and historical factors. These are the social factors. Social factors, physical factors and historical factors. These are the 3 factors in the population distribution. What are the factors affecting the population distribution? Climate, soil, water bodies, mineral resources, transport and urbanization. UP is the most populous state in our country. Sikkim is the least populous state in our country. Then what are the factors affecting the distribution and density of population? Social factors, physical factors and historical factors. Then density of population. What is meant by density? It is expressed in a number of persons lived per unit area, usually per square kilometer. The density of population means how many people lived in the per square meter. That is called the density of population. It is expressed in the number of persons per unit area, usually per square kilometer. How many people lived in the per square kilometer? One square kilometer, how much people are lived in a country? That is known as density of population. Then the most densely populated in India, Bihar, and the state with the least population density, Arunachal Pradesh. Bihar is the most densely populated area. Bihar is the most densely populated area. Then next one, Arunachal Pradesh is the least population density. Most population density area, Bihar. The least population density area, Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is the least population density area. Among the Union Territory, Delhi is the densely populated area. The Union Territories, Delhi is also one of the most populated area. The next one, population growth and change. Next we will study about the population growth and change. Population growth and change. Population growth. Population growth means the rate the population growth refers to the change in the number of peoples of a country. The change in the number of peoples in a country or territory during a specified period of time. That is known as population. The number of peoples change in the country during a particular period. That is known as population growth. What is meant by population growth? The number of peoples change in a particular period of time. That is called a population growth. The growth of population is expressed in the term percentage. 5%, 10%. That is, it is expressed in the term percentage. The next one, the period of stagnant population. The period of stagnant population. The period of stagnant population. The period of stagnant population during the first phase of 1901 to 1921 is the stagnant population. The population in India grew by 15 million. In this year, the population is grown 15 million. The year 1921 registered a negative growth rate of minus 0.31%. In the year 1921 is registered as a negative growth. That is, negative growth means minus 0.31%. Then second one, the period of steady growth. First one, the period of stagnant population. That is the year 1901 to 1921. In the year 1921, how much population is grow 15 million population. Then also the 1921 is registered as a negative population minus 0.31 percentage. The next one, the period of steady growth. Second one, the period of steady growth. The period of steady growth during the second phase of 30 years. During the second phase, that is in between the year 1921 to 1951. The year steady growth during the second phase of 30 years, that is 1921 to 1951. This year is known as the period of steady growth. This period, out of 30 years, the population of India is grown 110 million. 110 million in the year 1921 to 1951. That is the second phase of steady growth. Then the next one, the period of high growth. Third one, the period of first one, the period of stagnant population. That is in the year 1901 to 1921. In this year, 15 million population is grown. This year is registered as a negative population minus 0.31 percentage. Then second phase is the period of steady growth, that is 1921 to 1951. Out of the 30 years, 110 million population is changed. Population is grown. Then the period of high growth with the definite sense of slowing down. The third one is, first one the period of stagnant population, second one the period of steady growth. Third one also the period of steady growth. The period of steady growth. That in this period, the year 1951 to 1981. 1951 to 1981. Here, during the third phase, the population of India is to grow from 361 million. In this year, the population is grown 361 million. In the year 1951, the population is 361. But in the year 1981, the population is 683. The third phase, from the year 1951 to 1981, in between, in the year 1951, 361 population, but in the year 1981, 683 population. The next one, the period of high growth. The period of high growth. Fourth phase, the period of high growth. Period of high growth. The period of high growth 1981 to 2011 population. 2011 population. In the year 1981 to 2011 population. The year 1981, the population is 685 million. 685 million. But in the year 2011, the population is 1210 million. 1210 million. The marks beginning in the new era in the democratic history of India. These are the Population growth, four phases. First phase, the period of stagnant population, the period of steady growth. Third phase also, the period of steady growth. Fourth phase, the period of high growth rate of population 1981 to 2011. In the year 1981, 685. In the year 2011, the population is 1210 million. These are the population growth, study about the population growth. Then population changes. Next one we will study about the population changes. What is meant by population change? Population growth is influenced by the birth rate, death rate and migration. The population growth is also changed because of the birth rate, death rate and migration. Then the population change refers to an increase and decrease of population of an area from one period to another period. Increase or decrease of population. Population changes means increase or decrease of population from one period to another period. What is meant by population change? The population change refers to increase or decrease of population. Population change. Population change refers to increase or decrease of population from one period to another period. Population growth is influenced by birth rate, death rate and migration of population. Birth rate refers to number of per 1,000 people in a year. Number of new birth in 1,000 people in a year. What is meant by birth rate? Population changes means already studied. Population changes means the number of people is changed from one period to another period. That is called population changes. The population growth affected because of the population growth, that will affect the birth rate, death rate and migration of population. Birth rate, first we will study about the birth rate. Birth rate refers to number of new birth per 1,000 population. Number of new birth per 1,000 population is called birth rate. Death rate refers to number of deaths per 1,000 people in a year. Number of deaths per 1,000 people in a year. Birth rate refers to number of deaths per 1,000 people in a year. Death rate means number of deaths per 1,000 in a year. 1,000 people in a year. The rapid decline in the death rate is a major cause of rapid growth of population. Quick death refers to the changes in the population. The number of changes in the population is also affected the death rate. Death rate is the major cause of rapid growth of population in India. Migration. Birth rate means number of new birth per 1,000 people in a year. Death rate means number of death per 1,000 people in a year. Migration. Next one we will study about migration. What is meant by migration? Population changes means number of people change during between one period to another period. Next we will study about migration. What is meant by migration? Migration, it is the movement of people across regions and territories. Migration means movement of people from one place to another place. Movement of peoples across regions and territories. It can be internal or international. The migration is internal or international. Internal or international. Internal means the peoples are migrated within a country. That is called a internal migration. Internal migration does not change the size of population of a country. Internal migration means the peoples are moved from one place to another within the country. That is called a internal migration. International migration means the peoples are moved across the countries, one country to another country. But internal migration does not affect the population of a country. Internal migration does not affect the population of a country. It influences the distribution of population in a nation. In India, the mass migration from rural to urban. In India, most of the peoples are moved from rural to urban area. Unemployment and underemployment is the rural area also push factors. Unemployment and underemployment. Underemployment is the rural area. In the rural area are the push factors of the employment opportunity. And higher wages in the urban area cause the industrial development. The higher wages is given to the employees is also that will increase the employment opportunities, and higher wages in the urban area caused by the industrial development or the pull factors of migration. Push factors and pull factors. Push factors means underemployment, unemployment. That is push factors. Pull factors means industrial development. The peoples are moved from urban area, rural area to urban area, or the pull factors of migration. Migration means the peoples are moved from one country to one place to another place. That is called migration. That is two types of migration: internal and international. Internal migration means the peoples are moved from one place to another place within the country. International means one country to another country. These are two factors: pull factors and push factors. The population composition. Next one, population composition. Next, population composition means this refers to the characteristics such as age, sex. Population composition include age, sex, then marital status, religion, language, education, occupation. These are included in the population composition. Population, what are included in the characteristics: age, sex, marital status, religion, language, education, and occupation. These are included in the population composition. The next one, age. First we will study about the age composition. The age composition of population refers to the number of people in the different age groups in a country. Age composition means number of people in the different age groups in a country. That is known as age composition. The next one, it is one of the most important composition. Then sex ratio. Next one we will study about the sex ratio. That is male and female. Sex ratio is dependent on the number of females per 1000 male population. Sex ratio means number of sex ratio. What is meant by sex ratio? The number of sex ratio is dependent on the number of females per 1000 male population. Number of females per 1000 male population. That is called a sex ratio. Listen once again. Sex ratio means the number of females per 1000 males their population. This is an important social indicator to measure the extent of equality. This is sex ratio is to find out the equality. Sex ratio means number of females per 1000 males. The sex ratio is very useful to find out the equality. It is one of the indicators to measure the equality between the males and females in a society. To find out, it is one of the important indicator to measure find out the equality between the males and females in a society at a given time. Then literacy ratio. Next one we will study about the literacy ratio. According to 2011 census, the sex ratio of the country is 940 females per 1000 males. Okay, 2011 census 940 females per 1000 males. 1000 males. Only the state of Kerala is greater than 1000. Greater than the Union Territory of Pondicherry, the sex ratio is greater than 1000. The ratio between economically active and economically inactive of population is termed as dependency ratio. What is meant by dependency ratio? Next one we will study about the dependency ratio. Dependency ratio. What is meant by dependency ratio? Is the ratio between the economically active or economically inactive of population. Economically active and economically inactive of population is known as dependency ratio. What is meant by dependency ratio? The ratio between the economically active and economically inactive population is termed as dependency ratio. Economically active, economically inactive of population is termed as dependency ratio. The next one, literacy rate. Literacy. What is meant by literacy rate? The people who are able to read and write are known as literate. The people who are able to read and write is known as, it is an important indicator of quality of people. Literacy rate is also one of the important indicator the quality of people. It is very important to find out the quality of the people. The percentage of literate people to the total population is termed as literacy ratio. What is meant by literacy ratio? Literacy ratio is equal to total population. The percentage of literate people. Literate people, the formula is literacy ratio is equal to literate people divided by the total population. Total population. The formula for literacy ratio is literate people divided by the total population. That is called a literacy ratio. The next one, occupational structure. Occupational structure. Literacy ratio is equal to the percentage of literate people to the total population is termed as literacy ratio. The next one, occupational structure. Occupational structure. Workers are placed under the occupation. Occupation means job, work. Occupational structure means workers. Workers are placed under the threefold categories, that is main workers, second one marginal workers, next one non-workers. Three categories of workers, that is main workers, marginal workers and non-workers. Those who are worked for less than 6 months. Three categories of occupational structure, that is main workers, marginal workers and non-workers. Three major categories. Under the main workers, those who are worked for less than 6 months are regarded as those who are the main workers and marginal workers. According to the census of India, part of the preceding year, at least 6 months are regarded as those who are worked at least 6 months. That workers are called main workers. 6 months. Those who are worked for at least 6 months, that workers are called main workers. Marginal workers, those who are worked for less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. 6 months. That workers are called marginal workers. Marginal workers. Non-work participation rate denotes marginal workers, and the people who are not worked, that workers are called non-workers. Non-workers. Those who are not worked, that people are called non-workers. The occupational structure, there are 3 main categories: main workers, marginal workers, and non-workers. Main workers means at least those who are worked at least 6 months, that workers are called main workers. Those who are worked less than 6 months, that workers are called marginal workers. Those who are not do any work, they are called non-workers. Then work participation rate refers to percentage of total works. Total main and marginal work. Percentage of total main and marginal workers. These 2 workers are called participation. The work participation. Work participation means the total of main workers and marginal workers. These 2 workers are together called work participation. Work participation. What is meant by work participation? That is, the total of main workers and marginal workers are called work participation. Main workers means those who are worked at least 6 months, that workers are called main workers. Marginal workers means less than 6 months. Those who are not worked do any work, they are called non-workers. The 6 months main workers and marginal workers are together called work participation. Work participation. Work participation rate denote the percentage of total workers. The percentage of total workers. Total workers means here main workers and marginal workers are called total workers. The next one, problems of overpopulation. What are the problems of overpopulation? What are the problems? Because of the total overpopulation. What are the problems? Problems of overpopulation. Problems of overpopulation. Problems of overpopulation. Some of the major issues created by the overpopulation in our country is overcrowding, unemployment. What are the problems of overcrowding? Crowding, unemployment, low standard of living. The standard of living of the people is low standard of living because of the overpopulation. Low standard of living. Next problem, malnutrition, mismanagement of natural resources. Mismanagement of natural resources. Malnutrition. These are the problems of overpopulation. Problems of overpopulation, overcrowding, unemployment, low standard of living, mismanagement, malnutrition, then unhealthy. Natural resources are basically used, then unhealthy environment. Unhealthy environment. These are the problems of overpopulation. overpopulation. Listen once again. Overcrowding, unemployment, low standard of living, then mismanagement, then unhealthy environment, malnutrition. These are the problems of overpopulation. Then remaining we will study in the next class.